So, hello everybody. I actually tried already to make a video, but it somehow didn't really record. Anyway, I try again. I know now that I at least have the tendency to talk a lot with my hands and moving and fast. So, please forgive me for that. As you can see, my name is Fran. I'm from Switzerland originally, but I'm living in Thailand for already 15 years. So, and I have made a lot of life experiences, and I'm interested in rock and roll music of all kind, but especially classic rock, hard rock, heavy metal, but also symphonic metal, power metal, and so on. But I'm also very much interested in astrology, and that means several kind of astrology. And I love to watch the sky, what I can see if the clouds let me, and I also am interested in herbs and nutritions, and I have lately even learned a bit of gardening, which was absolutely not my thing before. So anyway, I'm learning. I'm learning every day, like most of us do, in different ways. And as I have started to also learning in a spiritual way, and I feel like a lot of the information that is out there was, at least to me, in the beginning, a bit more confusing than actually helping. As I kind of thought like, oh, I don't feel that, I don't have this, and so maybe not, and so maybe something is wrong with me. And so I want to invite anybody who feels in a similar way to maybe go some time with me if you feel drawn to it and you resonate with what I have to say. And if not, just it's fine. There are many, many different people out there trying to give a lot of information out in very different ways, up to each of us, how we are, what abilities or talents we have. So I'm not, as I said, I'm not a finished astrologer. I'm not a medium. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a tarot reader. I'm not a health kind of doctor or alternative things. I'm not a energy reader. I'm not what else? I don't see. I don't have quantum vision or whatever. All these different types of people out there have abilities. But what I see is that all of these different ways, paths, lead at the moment, at least, to the same energetic conclusions. I find it interesting that all these different people, with their different language, if you want, bring out the same, in slightly different ways, and I I try to translate some of that in a way that is maybe more understandable for people who do not yet have the time to dive deeper into these matters and may feel as confused as I did in the beginning. In this time of the virus all over the world and all the different lockdowns and curfews or restrictions and rules that we are living under, we do have more time at hand to dive deeper into ourselves. Some, they are blocked by fear, and that is very sad. But I completely understand. I went through that myself too, in different perspectives and in different times of my life. And I blocked myself completely until I got really ill. So fear is not a good state, but fear can also show us where we actually do have problems in ourselves and can show us where we may have to overthink ourselves. There is a time now where we get so much information on all kind of levels, and I think each of us have to discern what we think is true and what we think isn't. And as we are all on different paths, that may be different for each of us. So there are all kind of people who believe this, and others they say that. And, so it's really up to us to listen into ourselves and decide what is true for us. In my life, I always had the problem that I didn't fit in anywhere. So, and I kind of have the same problem now. I mean, in the spiritual communities, you hear a lot of like light worker and star seeds and empath and light showers and whatever, you know. And then you sit there and you think, and then you get all these definitions. I mean, and I thought, so what does that mean? So I watch this, I listen, I read, and I have no clue. Am I now an earthling? Am I an old soul from wherever? Whoever is my collective, as they say. And so I kind of thought, well, I guess the drawer I fit in is not yet out there. So I decided, never mind, I'm everything and nothing, as I used to say about religion. So I know I can inspire people. Usually I do that by dancing, so but no worries, I'm not going to start dancing now. So, but maybe I can do it on a different way too. And so there is one thing, one big message out there from all the different people that says it's all about love. It is. But it's not necessarily meant the love to other people or a romantic kind of love. It's meant to be the love to ourselves. And living from the heart means that you do that which you feel you want to do, you love to do, you feel good with and have joy with. It's not about the mind. The mind will help then when you actually know what you love to do. This is sometimes not so easy when you live in a world where everybody is telling us what we have to feel, what we have to want, what we have to buy, what we have to eat, and all these kind of things. Again, I usually don't fit into any of this. I may do some kind of meditation, for example, but I cannot do anything like guided meditation. That doesn't fit to me, and I'm not doing anything. Probably what I do would not even, by many people, not even be considered meditation. But it doesn't matter. It helps me, and I feel good with it, and so that's it, right? So what I want to say with that is it doesn't really matter what other people think. It's what about how you feel deep inside, and then do. And it's also all these worries we have now, and I'm not no exception to that. I don't actually worry about the virus itself, but I worry about all the other impacts, especially financially. But, well, I remember when I was young, and I was just reminded last night when I watched a video, a music video, and I thought, yeah, when I was young, I had so little money. I often didn't know how to buy the food. I was very young, like 17 or something. So it was a difficult time, but somehow I always figured out, somehow it will work out. And I did not have to starve. My boyfriend at that time, he went into the woods and looked for mushrooms and things like that. He was also working as a cook, so he created some really great kind of mushroom stew or whatever. And so we always had enough. Obviously, we survived, or at least I don't know how he is. I'm not in contact with this guy anymore. Anyway, so I was full of other things. I had other things that were more important, and not only the social security. And in the financial way, but the social security I got from other people. And so that shows that there is different things, different values we can find for ourselves, and when we find them, and when we live without fear, we will always be creative in one way or another, and we create our life. Creativity does include the word create, right? So try and listen into yourself, to how you feel, what you really love, and try to find a way to reach that. And with this, you will live from the heart and in love with yourself. I hope this short first video of mine did inspire you in some ways, and yeah, I will be back on, and please, whoever sees that, however, to any messages or whatever, I will respond as I can. Okay? So, bye for now. Much love to you all.